What's up, everybody? It's Lucas. Look, my heart is racing because May in Philly usually feels like hope, but this year, man, it feels like a powder keg. We are standing at the edge of OTAs, and the air just feels different. We're used to the hype, we're used to the Super Bowl talk, but there's a shadow looming over the link. It's about our leader, Jalen Hurts. We're entering a crossroads season that nobody saw coming 2 years ago. The narrative is shifting from "in Jalen we trust" to what happens next. This isn't just about football. It's about the soul of this franchise. Stay with me, because what I'm about to break down regarding Howie and Jalen right now. Let's dive in. Before we get into the heavy stuff, I need a massive favor from the real ones watching. We are pushing for 3,000 subscribers right now. And honestly, this community is the only thing keeping me sane through this wild off-season. Hit that button, join the family, because we bleed green together. Now, let's talk about Jalen. I love this guy. I really do. The work ethic, the stoicism, the rent is due mentality, it's everything Philly stands for. But man, the numbers from last year, they hurt to look at. We're talking about consecutive seasons where our passing game ranked in the bottom third of the league. That's not us. That's not a championship standard. When the run game stuttered, the passing game didn't just stumble. It felt exposed. It's hard to say that because we all remember the Super Bowl run where he looked like an MVP, but the reality is hitting us like a blindside blitz. This offseason wasn't just a tweak. It was a total demolition of the offensive room. Nick Sirianni had to let go of his guys. Kevin Patullo, gone. Scott Loeffler, replaced. Enter Sean Mannion. Enter Jared Johnson. These are the guys tasked with fixing the mechanics of a man we thought was already a finished product. It's emotional, man. Seeing Jalen out there, knowing the weight of the city is on those shoulders, it's heavy. He's human, he feels the noise, and he knows the critics are getting louder. The polarizing label is being thrown around by AFC executives, and it burns. They're saying his value drops as his legs slow down. Can you believe that? Our guy being talked about like he's a depreciating asset. It makes me angry, but it also makes me worried. We've seen Howie Roseman be ruthless before. He's proactive. He's a chess player. If he smells a decline, he moves fast. That's the Eagles' DNA. We don't wait for the ship to sink. We build a new one. And right now, for the first time in years, it feels like the front office is watching Jalen through a different lens. It's no longer unconditional love. It's a trial. A high-stakes, 17-game trial for his entire future in Philadelphia. It is real. And here's the thing that really gets under my skin. The coaching staff reshuffle isn't just about new plays. It's about a total lack of trust in the old ways. Now it gets interesting because Jalen isn't just sitting back. He's working. But he's working with Scott Loeffler, the guy the Eagles just moved on from. Think about that for a second. Let me explain why this is such a massive deal. It's like a silent protest. It's a passive-aggressive signal back to the NovaCare complex saying, "I trust the people you fired more than the people you hired." That's a dangerous game to play in this city. It shows a rift, a tiny crack in the foundation that could become a canyon if things don't go right in September. But then, you look at the names coming in. Jared Johnson is a rising star. Parks Frazier is stepping in. These are minds brought in specifically to force Jalen into a different style of play. They want more under-center work. They want more play action. They want efficiency, not just hero ball. The organization is basically saying, "We love you, Jalen, but we don't love how you're playing." It's a pivot that feels cinematic, almost like a sports drama where the veteran hero has to learn new tricks or get replaced by the next young thing. I'm not gonna lie, it keeps me up at night. We've seen this movie before in Philly. We saw it with Carson. We saw it with Wentz when the convictions started to fade. The moment the Eagles start evaluating instead of investing, you know the clock is ticking. And that clock? It's loud. It's ticking in the ears of every fan walking down Broad Street. We want him to succeed so badly. We want that 2022 magic back where every deep ball felt like a prayer answered. But the NFL is a "what have you done for me lately" league. And lately, the answer has been not enough. The pressure isn't just on Jalen. It's on Nick. It's on Howie. And it's on us to keep the faith while the walls feel like they're closing in on the team. It is just heavy. Look, I'm not gonna lie, the contract situation is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to pet. We're talking about the final year of significant guarantees. $22 million in 2027. That's peanuts in NFL quarterback terms. It means the Eagles can walk away. They can actually walk away from Jalen Hurts if this season isn't a masterpiece. Howie Roseman is a genius, but he's a cold-blooded one. He made Jalen the highest-paid player for a minute because he believed. But now, that belief is being tested by the reality of the tape. That AFC executive calling him polarizing wasn't just talking trash. He was echoing a sentiment that's starting to leak out of Philly. The decline of the running ability is the real threat. If Jalen can't be a dual-threat monster, can he be a pure pocket assassin? That's the million-dollar question. Actually, it's a $255 million question. The Eagles are essentially saying, prove it again. They're willing to pay a tax later if he succeeds, just so they don't get stuck with a massive bill if he fails. It's smart business, but man, it feels like a slap in the face to a guy who took us to the doorstep of a ring. The pressure is suffocating. Imagine going into work knowing your boss is already looking at resumes just in case you miss a deadline. That's Jalen's life right now, and he's doing it under the brightest lights in the most demanding city in sports. Every throw in OTAs, every read in training camp, every passive-aggressive workout session is going to be scrutinized. We're dissecting his soul at this point. I want to believe. I really do. I want to see him shut everyone up. I want to see Sean Mannion and Jared Johnson unlock a version of Hurts that makes 2022 look like a warm-up. But there's this nagging feeling, this knot in my stomach that says the Eagles are already prepared for the after. They've reshuffled the deck, they've brought in the outsiders, and they've kept the checkbook closed for 2027. This isn't a honeymoon anymore. This is a marriage on the rocks. It is just wild. Man, just thinking about the what-ifs makes my head spin. Look, I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm a fan first. I want the parade. I want to see Jalen hoisting that Lombardi. But we have to be real with each other. The atmosphere right now is just tense. It's like we're all holding our breath waiting for the first mistake so we can argue about it. I'm not gonna lie, seeing the news about Loeffler still training Jalen, it felt weird. It felt like Jalen was saying, I'm doing this my way, while the team is saying, do it our way. That kind of friction. It either creates a diamond or it causes an explosion. And in Philly, explosions are loud. We've got new minds like Josh Grizzard and Parks Frazier in the building. We're trying to find efficiency. Efficiency is such a corporate word, isn't it? It feels so cold for a game that's played with so much heart. But that's where we are. We need Jalen to be a surgeon, not just a warrior. I keep going back to what that executive said. As his running ability starts to decline, his value will decline too. That's the fear, isn't it? That we're watching a superstar's peak fade in real time. I refuse to believe it. I have to refuse to believe it. Jalen is a worker. He's a fighter. He's everything we love about this team. But the Eagles organization, they don't operate on love. They operate on results. Howie Roseman doesn't care about your feelings. He cares about the cap and the win column. The fact that they aren't quite sure what they have in Jalen anymore, the first time since 2020-22, that's the most honest thing I've heard all year. It's raw. It's scary. It's the absolute truth. We are entering the most pivotal summer in recent Eagles history. The stakes couldn't be higher. The pressure couldn't be heavier. It's all or nothing. It's Jalen against the world. And honestly, even against some people inside his own building, we're standing on the tracks and the train is coming. All we can do is hope Jalen is the one driving it. It is finally time. So, here we are. At the edge of a new season, but with an old feeling of uncertainty. This isn't the May we expected. We expected a victory lap after a reload. But instead, we got a crossroads. Jalen Hurts is at the center of a storm that's half created by the media and half created by the Eagles' own front office. The lack of an extension beyond 2026, the coaching overhaul, the subtle signals, it all points to one thing. 24 is the ultimate test. It's about identity. It's about who we are as a franchise. Are we a team that stands by our leader, or are we a team that's always looking for the next best thing? I want to believe Jalen is the answer. I want to see him adapt, evolve, and dominate. Because if he doesn't, the proactive nature of Howie Roseman is going to kick in, and things will get very messy very fast. But for now, we ride. We support our guy. We hope the new offensive minds find the spark that went missing last year. I'm staying optimistic because that's all we've got. Thank you guys so much for being part of this. Seriously, your support means the world to me. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Help us hit that 3,000 subscriber goal. It helps more than you know. And I want to hear from you. Do you think the Eagles are being unfair to Jalen, or is Howie right to be cautious? Is Jalen still the guy? Drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. I read every single one of them. We're a family here, through the winds and the polarizing rumors. Stay loud, stay proud, and get ready. Bird Gang.